So, all right. So anyway, this one's going first, just to let you know, and that's about it. I may put another short one, real short one, just ahead of this one, and then this one. Then I'll put the other two that I did yesterday, which was the third. That was like really just a lot of bullshitty talking out loud, kind of like had no idea what the fuck I was. Oops, excuse me, no idea what I was talking about. And I bought these extra boxes, the one that's up underneath there, the one that's up there, and then this one out here. And if you guys remember right, I had all that electrical problems that was also caused by the wind turbine. Well, some of that, believe it or not, was caused by those boxes. Let me screw you back in here so I can have my breakfast. I picked up a new box at Home Depot. I hooked it up, and your white wire and your ground wire on the main box can be in the same strip, but when you start running sub panels, your white wire and your copper, your bare wire, has to be separated. You can't have them on the same. So I went to Home Depot and I told them I'm running a sub panel, so I need the box. And that was kind of where it was. So I said I'd like to get somewhere between a 4 and an 8. And then well, you know what, a 4. This is for the one out there I just came from, because I can always take the full size breaker out and put in the half breakers if I needed more breaker space. So I said, okay, so I'll go with the 4. And I had it in the carriage, and I'm talking to the guy there, and he's telling me he's an electrician. You know, he's been there for years. He was an electrician for years, yada, yada, yada. The guy's about 70 years old. Yeah, maybe pushing it at 70, but he was an older guy. Older guy. I'm 70 years old. Anyway, he said, no, this is the one you need. I said, all right, not a problem. Come home, I start hooking it up, and I realize that the copper, which is the one that's not coated, and the white, there was 2 sets of terminals there, but they were connected, and they weren't supposed to be for a sub panel. So, you know, did this guy hand me the wrong panel, and that, you know, and I bought it, you know, or did he misunderstand me, or what? But as far as I remember, all the panels are made that way where they're separated. So here I have this panel that isn't separated, and I said, well, I can't use this one, you know, the way that it is, because I can't have the white and the copper on the same strip on a sub panel. So what I did was I checked the white to make sure that it wasn't touching the box, which it wasn't, you know, where you would, the white strip, and it wasn't touching the box, so it wasn't grounded to the box at all. So what I had done was I used the strip for the white, and I just drilled a hole in the case of the box and put a nut and bolt through it, and I bolted all my coppers right to the box, and that's basically what I did. But at first I didn't recognize all that, so I got to back up. I got ahead of myself. I didn't recognize that. I didn't find that out until I started hooking it up, actually. So I may be double talking or confusing the in order in which I did it, but the final results, the end result was that's what it was. So that was also giving me a lot of problems. Now that also, in the beginning, because I did turn it on, in the beginning that could have spiked the charger, which is a backup on the batteries, which leads up to the wind turbine, because the diode in the wind turbine had blown and shorted out. It didn't just blow. When it blew, it shorted out. So when the power is being delivered, it was resting up against the case, which is really weird. But if it's going to be weird, it's going to happen to me. Well, as you can see, we have power back on. Yes, we do. And that lights up, and that seems to be blowing. I just want to go through a few more things before I let it run. Turn it on, it turns on, cool, heat, temp, blower, works, turn it back off. So that's kind of where we're at. So it's hot. I'm going to go in the house and just glance through the booklet one more time, because I've never really completed the whole booklet. Because like I told you before, especially you women folk, us guys have every manual in the world, even the ones that haven't been written yet, locked up inside our minds. So we don't need to read the damn directions. Just like directions, we have every road map in the world, even the roads that haven't been poured yet, locked up in our mind. So we don't need a damn map. We don't need directions. So, but just in case something got locked in there and I can't rattle it free, I'm going to have to kind of glance through this thing a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. So we got the power coming from the house, from the main, 50 amp breaker in there, 220, coming out to the box that I showed you underneath. All right, so there's a 50 amp, feeding that 220. There's 4 20 amp breakers in there. Again, I never use them all anyway, so it's not a big deal. And there's not that much on them. And then out of that, there's a 50 that also comes back to this box that's over there. And I got a 15, actually I got a 20 amp breaker on that. So that's all done, and everything seems to be working just fine. So, now with that being said, it's about 1,300 hours or so, give or take. It's hot. The wife is home, so I'm gonna go sit in the house and enjoy her company, and see what's going on. Watch a little TV, and I just turned on TV out here for a minute and to see, make sure everything was working, and Hallmark came on. They're showing Christmas movies on Hallmark already. I'll tell you. What are you gonna do? So that's where we're at, guys. And I'll probably post this one first so that you know that the ones that are coming right after this one, maybe not really lengthy, but just a lot of talking out loud, thinking out loud bullshit, and kind of filling in as to what I was doing. And then there's a few that I did yesterday that I'll also post, and you'll kind of get an idea of what's going on. I did go to the range for a few minutes. I mentioned that in one of them. Again, I don't know what I've posted and what I haven't posted. Half the time I fall asleep when the computer's on, so I have no idea what it's doing or not doing. So other than that, have a good, safe, and happy, healthy 4th.